Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. As you might be able to tell from my background, I have quite the book haul to share with you guys today. These are all the books that I got last month back in October. It's a lot, and of course it's mostly romance books. I got a couple arcs that I'm crazy excited about, a couple like 2023 arcs. I got even more special editions because that's just who I am now. And of course, everything else behind me. So let's just jump into it. Starting off with this little pile of arcs. Okay, so these first two are actually older arcs. I don't remember when I got them, so I'm just shoving them into this October haul. They're both historical romances. This one is the new Sarah MacLean, which is Heartbreaker. It's book 2 in her Hellspell series. I just finished reading book 1 finally, so hopefully I'll be able to get to this one. It sounds like it's gonna be some sort of road trip historical romance. The hero is a duke and he and the heroine go all the way to Scotland to try to stop his brother from eloping. I always have a lot of fun with road trip historicals, so I'm looking forward to this one. And this other historical is To Catch a Raven by Beverly Jenkins, which I have read. The rare time that I've actually read a book in one of my hauls. It's the third standalone in the Women Who Dare series, and it's got a fake marriage romance. The heroine is pretty much a thief who gets caught by the government, so she's forced to help them. She partners up with the hero. They pretend to be a loving married couple, and they have to try to get the Declaration of Independence back. So this one is really fun. If you love the whole fake marriage trope, if you love Beverly Jenkins, definitely read her newest book. And then for the arc that I was most excited to get in the mail, I screamed a little when I opened this one. It's Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. It's the new Tessa Bailey from Avon. She has one indie book coming out in November that I'm crazy excited about because it's reverse harem, but this one is gonna be her next one after that. It's got another adorable cover like It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker, and I believe it's the start of a new series, so that's gonna be great. It's a grumpy sunshine romance. The hero is a professor, a grumpy professor, and she is his sunshiny neighbor. And these two knew each other back when they were teenagers and they almost kissed. So it's years later now. The hero goes back home to their small town and this is when they reunite. I'm so looking forward to this one. I loved It Happened One Summer. Hook, Line, and Sinker was okay, not quite as good, but I'm just so excited for more Tessa Bailey. I've pretty much read every single one of her books, so I will eventually get to doing a ranking video for her, but she just has so many goddamn books, so that's gonna be a lot. I also got an arc of this recent release. It's Ex Appeal by Kathy Yardley. It's the third standalone in her Ponto Beach reunion series, and I have read book 1 and really enjoyed it. That one was a romance between YouTubers, so that one was a lot of fun, and I've been meaning to continue with this series. If you have KU, the audiobooks for the series are available through that. That's how I usually read Montlake books, but this one is a second chance romance between high school exes. She is a hacker and he is some sort of company fixer, whatever that means. He discovers that $10 million is missing from one of his accounts, so he has to go ask the heroine, who is a hacker, for help in finding that 10 million. I mean, this one had me at second chance romance, but I do love reading about hackers, so I'm sure I'll enjoy this one. I just need to read the second book first. I also got Ravaged by Naima Simone. I read it for the first time last year, I think, and I really enjoyed her books, so I definitely need to read more of her. This one is her new November release. It's out on the 15th. It's a sports romance between a basketball player and a graphic novelist. They are best friends, so it's friends to lovers, and he is in love with her, which I always love to see in my friends to lovers romances. It sounds great, and I'm sure it's gonna be really hot because it is Naima Simone. I'm very excited about this next arc, even though I haven't even read the first book in the series, but I did get Queen of Myth and Monsters by Scarlett St. Clair. This is another fantasy romance from her, book 2 in her Adrian and Isolde series. The first book was King of Battle and Blood, which I still need to read. I will eventually get to it. I'm trying not to read the blurb on the back of this in case there are spoilers for the first book, but from what I remember, it's supposed to be this vampire fantasy romance series, and there's a marriage of convenience and the heroine wants to kill the hero for some reason. I have heard mixed things about the first book. People either really liked it or they really didn't, but for the most part I really liked Scarlett St. Clair's books, so hopefully I do enjoy it. And look at this cool little map that's in the book. And the final arc that I got in the mail is technically not a new book, but this is Under the Sycamore Tree by B. Celeste. It was originally published as an indie book, but then Bloom picked it up, so it's releasing in their paperbacks next year, January 2023. It's YA or new adult. It is set in high school. The heroine lost her twin sister from a disease, and now she's been diagnosed with that same disease. She moves in with her father, her estranged father. She moves to a new town, a new school, and that's where she meets the hero, who is one of the athletes. So it does sound depressing, but I've heard people really love this one. I personally have only read one B. Celeste book and I hated it, but this one does sound completely different from it, so who knows, maybe I'll like it. And then for the books that publisher sent me, so these are all finished copies. Oh my gosh, look at this absolute beauty. I got 2 copies of Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. She's publishing this one with Forever and they sent me this extra copy, so I'm gonna give it away, most likely for my book club, because we are reading this one in December and we are having Kennedy Ryan joining us. She pretty much joins us every year for her yearly releases because we always love her. So get excited for that. Get excited for this book, which I will eventually get to reading. I've been holding off just so I can have this story fresh in my mind for the book club live, but I am unbelievably excited about this one because it's a second chance romance, my absolute favorite trope. It's a second chance romance between a formerly married couple who do share custody of their kids, and of course they work their way back towards each other. Also, I am so obsessed with the foiling on the leaves on the cover. It's stunning. And then I got this stack from Berkeley. The new Nalini Singh is finally here. This is Archangel's Resurrection. I love the cover for this. I mean, all the covers for the series are beautiful. So this is another angel romance, another angel paranormal romance, and it's a second chance romance between archangels. I'm pretty sure both of them are archangels. I know for sure that the hero is an archangel. It's Alexander's romance. He's shown up in the last few books in the series, and I've been dying for him and his romance. And he gets one with his former love who went to sleep eons ago, but now she has awakened. Honestly, I don't know why I haven't already read this one because I'm so excited and I love everything Nalini Singh. So I really need to read this one soon. I also got this book that I'm pretty sure I did not request, but it showed up. It's Vanishing Hour by Laura Griffin. It's romantic suspense. The heroine is a corporate lawyer who gets very tired of the big city life, so she moves to the small town. The hero is a detective and these two work together to solve this case of missing women. I got A Cosmic Kind of Love by Samantha Young. This one was adorable. I actually have read this one. It's a romance between an event planner heroine and an astronaut hero. These two have a very interesting meet cute because the hero, he had a girlfriend who he sent these videos to while he was out in space, and the heroine is actually planning a wedding for that ex-girlfriend, and she accidentally comes across these videos and watches them. She sends him an apology video back, and that's how these two first sort of meet. It was a really cute read. I love the whole astronaut thing, so if you've loved any of Samantha Young's rom-coms in the past, you'll probably enjoy this new one. This one is The Belle of Belgrave Square by Mimi Matthews. It's a historical romance with a marriage of convenience. The heroine is an heiress and the hero is a captain, a former captain. These two agree to this marriage of convenience because he needs her dowry and then she wants freedom because he's not really gonna get involved with her at all. The blurb does give off Beauty and the Beast vibes because the hero, he's called a beastly hero, and he does forbid the heroine from entering his side of the estate. Here is a Christmas romance from Amy E. Reichert. It's called Once Upon a December, and I might have to add it to my winter TBR because it does sound adorable. The heroine gets divorced and she goes on her yearly Christmas trip to this Christmas market. The hero lives in this small town that is literally Christmas every single day, year round. They go on dates and everything. It just sounds very wholesome and fun and pretty much what I need in a Christmas romance. I've never read the author before though, but it does sound cute. I got the new edition of Ricochet by Kristen Becca Ritchie, which is book 2 in the Addicted series, which I love. I actually don't know if Berkeley picked up the rest of the books in the Addicted series. So far they have the first 2, but I feel like they should, now that they have two, or at least they should finish up Lily and Lo's romance, just because that would make a little bit more sense. But yeah, this is the new discreet cover. All of my originals are right here, but I'm still happy to add this to my collection. I decided not to get the indie version, like I got the new indie version of Addicted to You, just because if I keep collecting the new indie covers, I'll have to get them all, and there's just too many books. And this one is the new Jackie Lau. It's a wedding romance between the bridesmaid and the groomsman. I think it might be a spin-off of Don't Not Fall in Love. It sounds like it might be, just because the hero is another actor. But even though I enjoyed Don't Not Fall in Love, I do not remember these characters. So these two don't like each other. They don't really get along, but they are forced to for their friend's wedding. I love wedding romances though, and I always enjoy Jackie Lau and her books, so this one should be fun. And finally, I got this winter paranormal romance. It's Dark Whisper by Christine Feehan. She's like another version of Jara Ward. She just keeps pumping out all of her paranormal romances, but I've only read one of them. I do really like the artwork on all the different parts. So this is a shifter romance, I'm assuming from this cover, and it's another Carpathian, which I'm pretty sure is a vampire from what I remember when I read the first one a little while ago. Well, I think it's like a vampire shifter hybrid, something like that. And I had to look up what number this book was on Goodreads. It's number 36 in the Carpathian series. She has a humongous backlist. Like, look at all these titles on both pages. And then for some books that other publishers sent me, this is Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochran. It's an FF Christmas romance, and I have it on my holds. The audiobook is on my library holds, and I'm praying it comes in by the time Christmas comes so I can make a video about it. But this one has a very interesting premise. One of the heroines, she enters this marriage of convenience with her landlord. This is to help them with their financial situations, but when he introduces her to his sister, the heroine realizes that the sister was the one she had a one-night stand with. They basically fell in love in one night last Christmas, so this is how they reunite. So the whole fake relationship here is going to be interesting because it's not actually between the main characters. It's definitely not something that I come across that often, but I'm excited about this one. I read Alison Cochran's other book, her romance, and that one was so adorable. So I'm hoping this one is just as good. I got the new Alicia Rye, Partners in Crime. This one sounds fantastic, and look how beautiful this cover is. I love it. So the heroine wants to find her partner, but no one is quite living up to what she wants. She's matched up with the hero, but she ends up rejecting him. But then when they reunite, they somehow end up kidnapped. They're running around Vegas trying to escape jewel thieves and evade crime bosses. So it sounds very over the top, but so much fun. And here is the new Olivia Dade, Shipwrecked. I've read the first two books in the Spoiler Alert series, and they were okay. I liked them enough, but this one at least sounds the best one to me. Both the main characters are plus size, and they are the new co-stars of this show. So they're gonna be spending like the next 6 years together filming, but these two actually had a sort of one-night stand before filming ever started, before they even knew that they were going to be co-stars. So now they're trying to keep all hands off. They're going to try to strictly be just friends and not fall into bed together again, but we all know what happens with that. Literally 6 years later, on their last night of filming, they have sex again, and he still wants her. The hero has been waiting this whole time, and he really wants her to give him another chance. So this one sounds great. I'm really excited to see how all that tension will look like after 6 years, because that's a long time to want someone. And hopefully I love this one more than the first two. I got this new historical romance, Some Dukes Have All the Luck by Christina Britton. It sounds adorable. The hero is a duke, and he's the owner of a gaming hell, and he has 3 wards, so he needs a wife stat. He finds the perfect woman to enter a marriage of convenience with. She is a scientist who is obsessed with bugs, so very unconventional, and it honestly reminds me of something that Tessa Dare would write. I also got this finished copy of Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy. This is the second book in her Avalon Bay series, like a noodle contemporary romance series, and I like this one a lot better than the first book. That first book was not good, but this one was better. It's a second chance romance between a former bad girl and her ex-boyfriend. They grew up in the same town, and they had this very messy on and off again relationship growing up, but they do break up. up when she decides to leave him and leave town without telling anybody and to build a new life for herself. But she comes back for her mother's funeral and these two still want each other, but she can't afford to get into that messy relationship again. So this time the hero has to prove to her that they are actually meant to be. So I like this one. It's not amazing or anything. It's definitely not like her sports romances. I also got these two, Nora Roberts. These are the 2-in-1 bind-ups. A Force of Nature is her romantic suspense one. This one has Boundary Lines and Untamed. And this one is her Christmas bind-up, A Christmas Promise, and it has A Will and a Way and Home for Christmas. I was also sent the new Meryl Wilsner. This is an FF romance. It's got an age gap. One of the heroines is in college. She is in her last year of college and she hooks up with this woman. She has this amazing one-night stand only to find out the next day that it's her friend's mother. So it's an age gap, forbidden romance, and it sounds hot. I don't think I've ever read like an age gap FF romance before, and this is Built to Last by Erin Hahn. It's about a former child star who is torn between two men, her former co-star and her other co-star and childhood sweetheart. And here is The Sweet Spot by Adriana Locke. I love the colors of this cover. It's a small town sports romance. The hero is this baseball legend. The heroine is a single mom. He goes to the small town to visit his parents and that's where he meets the heroine. So it sounds very much like your classic sweet small town romance. I forgot I also got this box of books from Berkeley. Okay, so this is The Rewind by Alison Wynne Scotch. I'm pretty sure I wanted this book just because of the cover because I have no idea what it's about. Two exes wake up together with wedding bands on their fingers and no idea how they got there. Okay, so I'm sold already. And interestingly enough, this is set in 1999. So I don't know, does this count as a historical romance? The main characters are former college sweethearts who reunite for their mutual friend's wedding. She's on the rise as a music manager and he's gonna propose to his girlfriend. But then of course they wake up married. So it sounds great and it also sounds like it's going to be very, very heavy on the 90s nostalgia. And I got the upcoming Chloe Lease, Two Wrongs Make a Right. It's a reimagining of Much Ado About Nothing. The main characters, they are total opposites, completely wrong for each other, but their friends trick them onto going on a date. They decide to get revenge on their friends by fake dating and pretending that they're madly in love. Then they're gonna have this epic breakup and just end the whole matchmaking thing from their friends. I always love fake dating. I love the concept of this one. I love the whole getting revenge against their friends part. It's been a long time though since the last time I read Chloe Lease and I wasn't a huge fan of her first book. I haven't read her popular series yet. I haven't read the Bergman Brothers books yet, but I'll probably end up getting to this book before I get to that series. Here is Pride and Protest by Nikki Payne. This one I remember during my live with Ali Hazelwood. She said she was in love with this book. It's a debut author. It's a Pride and Prejudice retelling and it's about a heroine who goes up against this CEO who is pretty much trying to destroy her neighborhood. Her name is Liza Bennett and his name is Dorsey Fitzgerald. So it's Pride and Prejudice, enemies to lovers. We've got a rich CEO hero and a woman who goes up against him. This one is Better Than Fiction by Alexa Martin and it's a bookstore romance. The heroine has recently inherited her grandmother's bookstore, but the thing is she hates books. The hero, on the other hand, is a best-selling author. They meet at a signing that's being hosted at her inherited bookstore and he pretty much does everything he can to make her love books, show her the love of reading. So it sounds adorable. You're basically reading a book about books. I am so excited about this next one. It's Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake. It's the standalone sequel to Delilah Green Doesn't Care, which was so good, and it's Astrid's romance. Astrid was the stepsister from the first book and now she gets her FF romance. It's an HGTV themed romance. Astrid is an interior designer. She's been asked to design this inn for the show and the other heroine is the granddaughter of the owner. They do not get along because the granddaughter hates every single design that Astrid makes. So it sounds like there's gonna be some slight enemies to lovers vibes, definitely a lot of tension on this show, and I can't wait to read it. I love the author's writing in the other book, and Astrid's character was pretty interesting because it seemed like there's just a lot more to her than we know. And the last Berkeley book that I got is the Alyssa K. Adams Christmas Bromance, A Very Merry Bromance, which is the newest book in the Bromance Book Club series. I am a little bit behind on the series though, just because I've only read the first two books and we're already on book 5, but I might have to just skip skip all the way to this one because I'm very much in the mood for Christmas romances right now. It's a second chance romance between a country music star and an attorney. He still wants her, but she doesn't, though she does need his help. She asks him to be the face of her family's whiskey brand, and he only says yes if she'll give him 3 dates before Christmas. We've got quite the pining hero here, so I can't wait for that. And then I got this box from Entangled Publishing. The box says Amara, here for the happily ever after. So inside the box there is this notebook and pen. The notebook says Book Nerd, and the box came with these 2 books. This first one is called Fetish. It's a collection of erotic stories. They're all written by anonymous authors. And the second one is Imperfect Angel by Christy Barth. It's got a very adorable cover. It's a paranormal romance with an angel hero. He shows up at her door because she literally holds the key to hell and he needs it, but she somehow accidentally gave it to a demon instead. And then this box came from Source Books. It's got some historical romances. This one is The Duke in Question by Amelie Howard. It's book 3 in the Daring Duke series, and I just finished book 1 actually, and I really liked it. And this third book has a pretty interesting tagline. The blurb says, "It's James Bond meets Bridgerton." The heroine is the sister of a duke, and she's headed to America with this secret packet of letters. The hero is a former agent of the crown, and he's discovered that someone has stolen letters from the British Home Office and he needs them back. So there's agents and spies and stealing in this historical romance. It sounds great. This other historical romance is My Dearest Duke by Kristen Baden. It sounds like it's a second chance romance between a new duke, he's just inherited the dukedom, and the heroine who used to work for the War Office. Here is a cowboy romance, Holding Out for a Cowboy by AJ Pine, and a small town romance, The Next Best Day by Sharon Sala. I also got some books from some authors, some indie authors and their publicists, and I'm very excited about this box. It's the influencer box for the new Jennifer Elle Armentrout, A Light in the Flame. It's the second book in the Flesh and Fire series, so it's a sequel to A Shadow in the Ember. That book was not my favorite though, so I'm curious to see how I'll like this sequel. I did still end up pre-ordering that special edition from Barnes & Noble, so we will see if it's worth it. Also, there's another pretty map in this book. So we're back with Sarah and Nikos, or Niktos, or however the hell you're supposed to pronounce his name. I still don't know. There's a pronunciation guide, but it is all over the place. So we're back with these 2, though I still do need to read The War of Two Queens before diving into this one. I still haven't read that one for some reason, but I will get to it eventually. But here is what's in the box. There's this cute little cup. It says, "What does Mia Lisa mean? It means my queen." There is this cute little scarf that has some quotes on it, and a beanie with the dragon design. So cute. This is actually kind of perfect because I'm about to visit New York for a weekend and it's gonna be cold in December. I also got these 2 beautiful books from Catherine Cowles, who I finally got to see for the first time in Vegas at Love in Vegas. It's her newest book, Fractured Sky, and I got both editions, the original and the discreet cover. It's book 5 in the Tattered and Torn series, which is a small town romantic suspense series, and I've been enjoying all the books so far. This is Shiloh's romance, and she's a very broken heroine. The hero is a total grump, but he is only soft for her, and they become roommates. I'm gonna be listening to the audiobook soon. I love the audiobooks for the series. All the narrators are fantastic. They're like the big name romance narrators too, so if you want to try the series out, I highly recommend the audiobooks. I got Heart Smart by Ali Stiles. I have never read this author before. This book is part of the whole Smarty Pants romance line that's created by Penny Reed. It's a music related romance. Both main characters are interns for this media company. The hero is a musician, but he does need money, which is why he takes this internship. The heroine, on the other hand, working for this company is her dream job. So these 2, they do not like each other, but they are forced to work together for this special project. This is also another author that I have never read. It's Lessons Learned by Marie James. It's a dark romance with a mercenary hero, and the heroine is an undercover FBI agent. These 2 actually met each other years ago for their jobs. It was for this underground trafficking thing, and she left him for dead. So it sounds interesting, but if anyone has read this author, let me know. I've never really heard anything about her. I also got the new Emma Chase, which is Getting Real. This is a hospital romance with a doctor hero and an ER nurse heroine. He's a single dad of 3. She's had a crush on him for forever, and he finally starts to notice her back when she literally falls on her face in front of him. So it sounds cute, and I'm not gonna lie, the cover model is definitely giving off Dr. Mike vibes. If you don't know who Dr. Mike is, he's a pretty big doctor YouTuber. I watch his videos occasionally. And this book came just in time for Halloween. Sadly, did not get to read it though. It's Blood Orange by Karina Halley. It's her latest release, and it's this gothic paranormal romance, and it's got the whole reincarnation trope, which I am obsessed with, but I just don't read it enough. So the hero is a vampire and he finds his love, but she ends up dying over and over again every time he finds her. He's now a professor in Venice, and she is one of his new students. She's back now. She's reincarnated as a witch who is supposed to kill him. It's book 1 of a duet, so I may end up waiting for the second book to come out before starting this one, but it sounds amazing. Okay, I'm done wearing this beanie, but it is really cute. And then I did end up buying some books for myself. I finally got myself this Ruby Dixon book that I love so much, but I held off on buying it just because the original cover was so ugly. But this one is Bound to the Battle God, which is book 1 in the Anchor and Aspect series. It's her fantasy romance series, and all the books are thick. But I love this first book so much. I mean, book 2 is good, book 3 was a little disappointing, but this is my favorite, probably my top favorite Ruby Dixon book. It's slow burn fantasy romance perfection, and I'm so happy to finally have it in my hands. Also another book in this haul with a map, and then I had to get my girl Jessica Kane. As soon as she told everyone that she had paperbacks available, I immediately tried to order them, but the thing is, Amazon didn't have them available for some reason. It was just taking a long time for that to get approved. So I went on Barnes & Noble and bought the 3 paperbacks. And I don't know if it's because Barnes & Noble has a better printer, but these paperbacks feel so nice. And I'm thinking I should probably order from Barnes & Noble more. But Jessica Kane does only have these 3 paperbacks available so far, and they are themed, and all of them do include 5 novellas. This one is More Than Innocent, which is her good girl theme, though I'm pretty sure like 99% of her novellas have that good girl theme. This one is More to Love, and I'm sure you can tell from this title, it's her big boy collection. I love her big boy novellas, her thick hero novellas. And this third one is More Than a Crush, which is her stalker collection, which I also adore. Basically, all the heroes are obsessed stalkers, and Jessica Kane writes them so well. I mean, they're insane, but I love them. Aren't they gorgeous though? I love how they look. I'm just happy that Jessica Kane is back. She hasn't been that active in a while, but she did just release a new book, a new novella, and I'm sure she'll end up doing some more paperbacks, and I'll probably end up collecting them as well. And this one I bought for a book signing for Love in Vegas so that I could bring it and meet the author and get it signed. It's The Words by Ashley Jade, which is one of my favorite reads this year. It is such a fantastic rock star romance, second chance romance. It is messy and angsty, all that good rock star romance stuff, and I loved it enough to buy the paperback. And here is the autograph from Ashley Jade. I also got these 2 books at the book signing for free. I went to go see Emily McIntyre so I could get Hooked signed, and she was giving away this novella for free to everyone. It's called Running Back to You, which is a winter romance, I'm assuming. It's a holiday short, and the back says she's running from her past. He's coming home to find it. I don't know if it's connected to anything, but probably not, just because it's so short. And this one I got towards the end of the signing because the author just wanted to get rid of her books. She didn't want to bring them home with her, I guess, but it's Dr. Untouchable by Jay Salmon. I've never read this author before, but I'm not gonna say no to a free book. It's an office romance, a boss assistant romance, which I do love reading. And this one is not romance, but I did buy myself this cookbook by a YouTuber that I love watching. It's called An Unapologetic Cookbook by Joshua Weissman. So Joshua Weissman is the YouTuber. He is like a former chef turned YouTuber, and he does a bunch of fun series on his channel, like But Better, where he recreates fast food but makes it better. Like this one, this is the Better Than Popeye's chicken sandwich sandwich. I mean, am I ever gonna really make these? Probably not, but I do love owning cookbooks for some reason. And here is a box that I got from Willow Winters. I have no idea how I got this one. I think I might have won it in a giveaway or something, but the packaging is very nice. Here's a little do not disturb sign. It says, I'm reading, don't come in unless you're my book boyfriend. A card that says, love my smut more. Some art prints. I don't know if you're supposed to color these in because they're just like lined. Little fuzzy socks. I think this is another beanie. It says book lover and there's two little pom-poms on the top, and a pouch with a little tic-tac-toe game in it. And of course there are also some books. There are 3 novellas. This one is A Little Bit Dirty, which is a small town second chance romance. Tequila Rose, which is about a one-night stand that turns into a surprise pregnancy. And Autumn Night Whiskey, which is a love triangle romance. And then before I get into all of my new special editions, I do have some non-romance books that I added to my bookshelves. This one is Partner Track, which I actually got because I went to the Netflix premiere for this show. The book is by Huang, who I did get to meet at the premiere. It was a lot of fun actually. There was this whole after party thing that I went to and they were serving out food and drinks and I could not stop eating and drinking. So it was a good night, but I did end up watching the first episode only at that premiere and it was interesting. It's about an Asian American woman who is on the partner track. She's a lawyer who wants to make partner and there seems to be a bit of a love triangle going on between like this rich billionaire and then the new hire at her firm. This is One Last Gift by Emily Stone. It's another winter themed book. It's about a woman who's just lost her brother, but she receives this envelope with a scavenger hunt that's written by that brother. He creates the scavenger hunt for her every Christmas and of course this one is the final one that she'll ever do from him. So it does sound very emotional for a Christmas book. I was so happy when I got this book in the mail from the publisher. It's Lore Olympus Volume 3 by Rachel Smythe. Look how beautiful this artwork is. I freaking love Rachel Smythe and her art style so much. I will say though, I'm pretty behind on Lore Olympus. I stopped reading the webtoon like 2 years ago, if not more than that. I just got so tired of waiting for the next chapter, but maybe I'll get back into it now that I have 3 volumes. I don't know how many more there are gonna be though. I have no idea if this series is ever gonna end. I got yet another cookbook, this time from a publisher. I mean, anytime I can request a cookbook with a nice cover with some good looking food on it, I will take it. So this is Delectable by Claudia Fleming. It's got sweet and savory baking in it, which I actually will end up using because I do love to bake. And finally, I got this giant Bridgerton hardcover. It's called Inside Bridgerton. It's by Shonda Rhimes, the creator of the Bridgerton show, the Netflix show, and Betsy Beers. And it's pretty much like an inside look behind the scenes of the Netflix show. There's a bunch of photos from the filming, even some scripts. Here is the wedding from season 1. It just looks really nice, and when the publisher asked me if I wanted one, I said yes so fast. And then I got this box from Penguin Random House, and if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen me posting in my stories about this package that I got with some exploded honey that completely ruined the book in that package. So the publisher was nice enough to send me another one in a box this time instead of a little envelope. The book was Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult, of course. I guess they thought it was a good idea to send honey because of this title. Oh, it's also written by Jennifer Finney Boylan. It came with these 2 little pens that says Save the Bee and some tea packets. It's honey ginseng tea, and of course the actual bottle of honey that they were smart enough to wrap up in a package this time. So here is the bottle of honey. It's from Oregon apparently. So it's a cute package in general if you like honey. I'm just really glad that they ended up resending it to me. And then for my romance special editions, I got quite a few this month. This first one is the special edition hardcover of It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. It's the Waterstones edition with the water sprayed edges, and unfortunately Waterstones decided it was a great idea to not spray the other 2 edges of this book. I have no idea why, because the other Waterstones books that I have with sprayed edges have all 3 edges sprayed. this one doesn't, and it just annoys me like crazy seeing these white pages. I have read this one if anyone was curious. I do have my video review of it up on my channel. I got this beautiful edition of Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. This is the edition from cover to cover, and I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but there is a texture to the book. It's got like little dots on it. I was hoping there'd be some foiling, but there wasn't. But still, I do love this cover, and I totally would not mind if the book box ended up doing the rest of the series with this style. I also got this super adorable edition of The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is the hardcover. It's got the Australian edition cover, I think, and it's all in this gorgeous pink, and the edges are sprayed. It's got this ombre sprayed edges. It goes yellow to pink, and the other two sides are sprayed. And then there's a cute little design in foil on the naked hardcover. And then I got the Hello Lovely Trope of the Month book. Every month they come out with a special edition with a specific theme, and the October theme was Grumpy Sunshine. And the book is Shameless by Lex Martin. I don't think I've read this one, but the cover, I love the colors of this cover. I'm normally not like a huge flower fan, but I do love the colors of this one. So it's a Grumpy Sunshine romance. The hero has just gotten custody of his niece, all the while falling in love with the heroine. And then the other Hello Lovely box package that I got was the summer seasonal box featuring Tilly Cole. This one got delayed, unfortunately. Tilly had some personal issues, so that was why. So this is the bouquet box, which means it has Tilly Cole, the featured author, plus a mystery author and a bunch of swag. This is a candle that says Reader Tears. It's creamy avocado, sea salt, and feelings about fictional characters. Here is a pouch that says Emotional Readers Book Club, and this looks like a pillowcase. Oh my gosh, it's adorable. It says Happy Ever After Club, and the other side says Broken Hearts Club. There's some watermelon chapstick that says Angsty Vibes, a packet of tissues. It says Real Feelings About Fictional Characters. So clearly there's a theme with this box, and it came with a mug. It is so adorable. It says, "This book has me in my feels." And of course, I gotta show you guys the books that came in it. The featured Tilly Cole book was A Thousand Boy Kisses with this adorable cover. This book, if you have not read it yet, will emotionally wreck you. So all the themed items in this box definitely fits with this book. And it also came with this exclusive sneak peek of Bow Down Worship by Tilly Cole. It's her upcoming reverse harem romance, and I am so excited. And the summer box came with not just one, but two mystery authors this season. This one is The Love of My Next Life by Britt Benson. I have never read this author before, but the cover is really cute. It's a brother's best friend romance. And the other mystery author is Julie Ann, and the book is For Lucy. I do love Julie Ann, but I have not read this book yet. It sounds like it's a marriage and trouble romance. And then I got the latest Mystic box in the mail, which featured Callie Hart. The two hardcovers are all one series. It's the Blood and Roses series in 2 volumes. This one is the cover of volume 1, and I don't know if you can tell, but there is some foiling on it. And here is the cover of volume 2. I have not read this series, but I do love the covers for them. And also look at these sprayed edges. How amazing does that look? Here is the latest Belle book box. It came with this pouch that says Smutty Reader. Belle is the one that features 2 different authors. So the authors that were featured were Candy Steiner and M. Robinson. The Candy Steiner book is Make Me Hate You, and it does come with these pretty flower sprayed edges. The M. Robinson book is Second Chance Contract. This is what the cover looks like, and these are the sprayed edges. They both actually got similar tropes. The Candy Steiner one is Best Friend's Brother, and the M. Robinson one is Best Friend's Little Sister. And the last special editions that I have to share with you guys, and the last books in this haul, are the latest Arcane Society books. This is the sister box to Belle book box and Mystic box, but these are the fantasy romances. And the latest featured author was Olivia Wildenstein or Wildenstein. I'm not entirely sure, but it is her Angel series. This is the cover of the first book, Feather, and this is what the sprayed edges look like. Here is book 2, Celestial. I love the purple of this one, and here are the sprayed edges. And then the third and final book is Starlight, and I love all the silver foiling of these books. I love how these look with the spines all together, like the colors and then the silver foil. It is so nice. I'm also really hoping to read this author soon. I've heard really great things about them and I always want to read more angel romances. The box also came with some art prints of the series. Look how pretty this one looks, and a couple really cool feather pins. But that's all the books that I have in this book haul. This was everything that I got last month in October. As always, let me know your thoughts if you've read any of these books. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you all next time. Bye!